Kwame was born in a small village. It was a place where the sun rose early and set late, casting long shadows over the dusty paths that wound through the heart of the community. The village was a tight-knit community where everyone knew each other, and the bonds of family and friendship were strong. It was nestled in the heart of Africa. Life was hard there. The villagers faced numerous challenges daily, from the lack of clean water to the scarcity of medical facilities. Despite these hardships, the people of the village were resilient and resourceful, always finding ways to make the best of their situation. The land was dry and food was scarce. The soil was often parched and the rains were unpredictable, making farming a constant struggle. The villagers relied on the little they could grow and the occasional aid that came from outside. Hunger was a familiar companion, but they never lost hope. Kwame's family, like many others, lived in poverty. They struggled each day. His parents worked tirelessly, doing whatever they could to provide for their children. They often went without so that Kwame and his siblings could have a little more. Their love and sacrifice were the bedrock of Kwame's upbringing. They worked hard to provide for their basic needs. From dawn till dusk, the villagers toiled in the fields, tended to their livestock, and engaged in small trades. Every member of the community had a role to play, and even the children contributed in whatever way they could. But Kwame had a strong spirit. He was not content to accept his circumstances as his destiny. From a young age, he showed a remarkable determination and a willingness to learn. He was curious about the world beyond his village and eager to explore new possibilities. He was determined to make a better life for himself. Kwame often spent his evenings listening to stories from the elders about distant lands and opportunities that lay beyond the horizon. These stories fueled his imagination and strengthened his resolve to seek a brighter future. Even as a young boy, Kwame dreamt of a brighter future. He would sit under the vast African sky, gazing at the stars and envisioning a life where he could achieve his dreams. His dreams were not just for himself, but for his family and his village. He wanted to bring change and uplift those around him. He knew his village held little opportunity. The limited resources and lack of infrastructure meant that many young people had to leave in search of better prospects. Kwame was aware of the challenges, but he was also aware of his potential to overcome them. He yearned for a chance to escape the cycle of poverty. Kwame held on to hope. He believed that with education and hard work, he could break free from the constraints of his environment. His journey was just beginning, and his unwavering spirit was his greatest asset. Life in the village was a constant struggle. Kwame's family toiled tirelessly. They worked long hours under the scorching sun. They earned very little for their efforts. Kwame witnessed his parents' sacrifices. He saw their resilience in the face of adversity. It fueled his desire to create a better life. He knew education was the key. He walked miles to the nearest schoolhouse. He cherished every moment of learning. Kwame excelled in his studies. He knew education would open doors to a brighter future. One day, a traveller arrived in Kwame's village. He was a stranger, yet his presence brought an air of mystery and excitement. The villagers gathered around him, curious to hear his tales. He spoke of a bustling city far away, a place where the streets were always alive with activity and opportunities were abundant. The city was a stark contrast to the quiet, slow-paced life of the village. The traveller described the city as a land of promise, where one could find work in various trades, from bustling marketplaces to towering office buildings. It was a place where dreams could be realized and a better life was within reach. Kwame listened intently, his heart filled with both excitement and trepidation. The idea of leaving his familiar surroundings was daunting, yet the promise of a brighter future was too enticing to ignore. The city seemed like a distant dream, a place almost too good to be true. But the traveller's words ignited a spark of hope within Kwame, a hope that he could change his destiny. It was a beacon of hope in his otherwise challenging existence. The bright city lights symbolized a future filled with possibilities, a stark contrast to the hardships he faced daily in the village. He knew he had to take a leap of faith. The decision was not easy, but Kwame felt a strong pull towards the unknown. He began to prepare for his journey, gathering his belongings and saying his goodbyes. Kwame decided to embark on a journey. With each step he took away from the village, he felt a mix of fear and excitement. The road ahead was uncertain, but he was determined to follow his dreams. He would seek his fortune in the city. The bustling streets and towering buildings awaited him, promising new opportunities and experiences. Kwame was ready to face whatever challenges came his way. He was leaving behind his family and everything he knew. The farewells were bittersweet, filled with tears and hugs. But Kwame knew that this journey was necessary for his growth and future. He carried the love and support of his family with him as he ventured into the unknown, hopeful for what lay ahead. The journey to the city was long and arduous. Kwame had set out from his small village with nothing but hope in his heart and a determination to change his life. The path ahead was uncertain, but he knew he had to take it. Kwame traveled for days, facing scorching heat and dusty roads. Each step was a testament to his resolve. The sun beat down mercilessly and the dust clung to his skin, but he pressed on, driven by the vision of a brighter future. He carried with him only a small bag of belongings. In it were the essentials, a change of clothes, some food, and a few cherished mementos from home. These items were not just practical. They were symbols of his past and the life he was leaving behind. He held on to his dreams for a better future. Every step forward was a step away from the hardships he had known. His heart was filled with hope and a vision of what could be, even as his body grew weary from the journey. When he finally arrived in the city, he was met with a mix of awe and apprehension. The towering buildings and bustling streets were a stark contrast to the quiet, open spaces of his village. It was overwhelming, but also exhilarating. The city was a whirlwind of activity, full of both promise and uncertainty. People hurried by, each with their own destination and purpose. The noise, the lights, the sheer energy of the place was unlike anything Kwame had ever experienced. Kwame was determined to make it in this new environment. He knew that the city held opportunities that he could never find in his village. He was ready to embrace the challenges and seize the chances that came his way. He knew he had to work hard. The city was not going to hand him success on a silver platter. He took on any job he could find, from manual labor to odd tasks, always giving his best effort. Each job was a stepping stone towards his goals. He was ready to face any challenges that came his way. There were days when the obstacles seemed insurmountable, but Kwame's spirit remained unbroken. He learned to navigate the complexities of city life, always keeping his eyes on the prize. He was determined to succeed. With each passing day, he grew more confident and capable. The city that once seemed so daunting began to feel like home. Kwame's journey was far from over, but he knew he was on the right path. Life in the city was not easy for Kwame. He struggled to find work and a place to live. He faced discrimination and prejudice as a newcomer. But Kwame refused to give up. He worked odd jobs, saving every penny he earned. He never lost sight of his goals. He remained resilient. He knew education was his path to a better life. He enrolled in night classes. He juggled work and studies with unwavering determination. One day, Kwame heard about an opportunity. A local manufacturing plant was struggling. They were seeking investors. Kwame saw the potential in the business. He decided to take a risk. He invested all his savings in the plant. It was a risky move, but Kwame believed in himself. He had faith in his abilities. He had learned valuable skills through his experiences. He was determined to turn the plant around. Kwame poured his heart and soul into the business. Section 7. The Seeds of Success. Under Kwame's leadership, the manufacturing plant began to thrive. He implemented innovative ideas and streamlined production processes. His dedication and hard work paid off. The plant's profits soared, and Kwame's reputation as a shrewd businessman grew. He had finally achieved the success he had always dreamed of. Kwame had come a long way from the poverty of his village. He had overcome countless obstacles. He became a successful entrepreneur, but Kwame never forgot where he came from. Section 8. Remembering his roots. As Kwame's success grew, so did his desire to give back to his community. He remembered the struggles of his village. He knew the importance of education and opportunity. Kwame established a foundation to support education in his village. He funded the construction of a new school and provided scholarships to underprivileged students. He knew education had the power to break the cycle of poverty. It could empower future generations. He was determined to make a difference in the lives of others. Section 9. Giving back to the community. Kwame's philanthropy extended beyond education. He also invested in healthcare initiatives in his village. He funded the construction of a medical clinic. He knew access to healthcare was essential. He wanted to improve the well-being of his community. Kwame's generosity had a profound impact. He improved the lives of countless people. He became a symbol of hope. He showed what was possible through hard work and determination. Section 10. The power of belief. Kwame's journey is a testament to the power of perseverance. It highlights the importance of believing in oneself, even in the face of adversity. Despite growing up in poverty, Kwame never lost sight of his dreams. He worked tirelessly to overcome challenges. He created a better life for himself and his community. His story inspires us all to strive for greatness. It reminds us that with determination and hard work, anything is possible. It shows the importance of giving back and making a difference in the world.